Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cards by Melissa Minor. Today I'm going to be starting my layout with this cut file, Couldn't Be Happier. And this is from PearTree Cutfiles. This is from their July release, and I paid for this. It's a digital download. And then I backed it with the Simple Stories Just Beachy paper collection. So I want to use the Just Beachy paper collection also for the back of my layout, and I want to mat it here with some cardstock. Now the cardstock I'm bringing in is Seabrook color, and it is from Close to My Heart, so it's no longer available, but I had it in my stash. All right, so let me tell you about the photos that I want to scrapbook today. These are from my walk along the riverfront, and so yesterday when I was walking, these are just from yesterday, I noticed the floodgates were out, and I love walking along the riverfront, and I haven't been able to do it in months because they've had these ugly floodgates up. And so yesterday when I saw that the floodgates were out, I couldn't be happier. And so that's where the title came from. I love walking along the riverfront, and it's just so relaxing to see like the sun reflecting off of the water, and I do some of my best thinking down there. So I thought this title was perfect. Now I'm going to create my own embellishments, so I'm starting with some mixed media cardstock. This is from scrapbook.com, and I'm bringing in some Shimmerz paints. So I've picked out a few that I think are going to match my paper perfect. So I'm starting with the Berry Hot Creameez. I also have the Lover's Lips Inklings, Sage It Isn't So Creameez, and then I have Pumpkin and Squeeze the Day Color Splash. Now I'm going to mix the pumpkin and the Squeeze the Day to get more of like an orangey yellow color. And so these are all the colors I'm using. So I'm just going to do some simple painting here. I'm just dipping my paintbrush into some water. I sprayed some water onto my mixed media cardstock. And then I'm dipping my paintbrush into the Berry Hot Creameez. Now with Creameez, you do have to spray some water into the little jar there to activate it. And so I've done that, and I'm just going to continue putting some color all around. Now it doesn't really matter what this painting looks like because I'm going to bring in some dyes to die cut this. So I'm going to add some splatter here by dipping my paintbrush into the Berry Hot Creameez color and just splattering all around the page. And then I dried that off camera with my heat tool, and now I want to bring in some more splatter. So I'm dipping my paintbrush back into the Berry Hot Creameez, and then I'm going to bring in some Gold Digger Color Splash. Now this is my favorite, so I did go ahead and add a little spray here, but then I also want to just tap some onto the page, and this is going to give my die cut some just extra dimension and some extra interest. So I'm going to bring in my heat tool here and make sure that's all dry. And now the dies that I'm using are from scrapbook.com, and these are the Sunny Lane Florals dies. I absolutely love these. There's so many large florals. There's greenery, so there's leaves, there's the center of the florals. These are just perfect. So I'm going to take one of the dies here, and I'm going to bring in some mint tape, add a little mint tape, and then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. So you can see here in my stack and sort tray, I have so many done, but I also want to show you this awesome tool. This is called the Fold and Form tool from Sizzix, and it is absolutely perfect for forming your florals. So you just put your floral in here and then just kind of pull up the edges. So see how that turned out? And look at these. So these are the ones that I went ahead and did the same process on, just in the different colors. And even the leaves, they just look so pretty. So now I have a whole tray of embellishments that I can use on this layout, and they're perfectly color coordinated for my layout, and no one else has these, right? Because I made these. Now I'm bringing in one of the cut apart tags from the pack, from the Simple Stories paper pack. Sorry, couldn't think of that. And now I'm just going to dry fit these florals along the bottom. Now I like the bottom of this paper because it has like a little wave, but this is the riverfront, so I think this paper is more like for ocean, but I still wanted to bring in that green color, and it makes me think of walking along the riverfront. So I'm going to just arrange these florals more like in a wave pattern along the bottom of my photos. Now you'll see here that picture on the right, that is Tom and Becky. So if you know anything about Hannibal, Missouri, it's famous for Tom Sawyer. And so they have a Tom and Becky contest, which if you've watched any of my videos, I've talked about that before. And so I saw them on my walk, so I had to take a selfie with them. I also asked to take a photo of them, so I have another one that just didn't make it onto the layout. So I've got the florals all adhered down, and now I want to bring in the greenery. And when I'm placing greenery and even my die cuts here, I like to put some on top of the photo, some tucked underneath the photo. And so I'm going to do that here with the greenery. Now, the glue I'm using this Scotch tacky glue. I learned this from some of my other YouTube crafting friends. So this is my first time trying it out, and I'm in love. I almost think like, am I a glue hoarder? I have so many different brands of glue, but each one serve their own purpose, right? And so I'm gonna glue some of these down on camera, and then I will finish adhering all the little greenery sprigs. I will finish adhering those down off camera. So I'm just going in here and tucking these where I think that they look nice, and then I'll have to come back and kind of fill in where I think I've missed any gaps. So aren't these florals so pretty and painted? And I think that they match the paper from Simple Stories, that Just Beachy collection. I think it looks perfect. So it's super cute. So I'm just gonna finish gluing these in. And then I'm not gonna leave that tag naked up there. I do like to add some ribbon, but I wasn't sure which ribbon I wanna use. Now I did ink the edges of my cut file and the tag in Seabrook ink from Close to My Heart. I did that all off camera. I didn't want it just the stark white, and so I gave it a little color. So you can see here when I was trying to put my ribbon through my tag, I accidentally ripped the tag. So I'm gonna have to make this ribbon into a bow instead of just loose ribbon at the top. So I'm bringing in a glue dot here, and I'm gonna adhere that up there. I hope that's covering up my little mistake. I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna add a floral up here. I wasn't planning on adding another floral, but now this kind of gives me the 3 embellishment clusters. So I've got one at the top here of the tag, one to the top of my photos, and then all along the bottom. So I really think that does help draw your eye down and across the page to look at all of my cute photos of the floodgates being removed. And this is of the Hannibal, Missouri riverfront. So I'm going to add a couple little sprigs of greenery up here just to make sure that I have all of that tag covered up of where I got that little rip. So let me press this one down. It's being stubborn. And I love the way that this page is turning out. Okay, so that looks good. Now I need to bring in some embellishments. And so I like to add something to the center of my florals. And I think these are just perfect. These are dewdrops from Concord and 9th. And so I'm going to add a little little drop of glue. I'm using my pick up and place tool to pick up each of these little jewels. And I will put one in the center of each of these flowers, some on camera and then some off camera. And so this little pick up and place tool works perfect to pick up each jewel and then place it in the center of the florals. I'm not really paying attention to which size they are. I'm just kind of dropping them in. I did kind of put the larger ones, I think, in the like orange yellow colored flowers. But other than that, I'm just scattering them around into the different centers of the flowers. So that looks cute. I like that. So like I said, I'll finish these off camera and I will be right back. Okay, I got all the flower centers in, and I think it just needs, something's missing on my page. I think I want to bring a little more color in. So this is actually from the branding strip of the paper, and it wasn't a whole strip because it said Simple Stories on part. And then, but it had this color, and it's every color that is in the title that I backed, the cut file. So I thought I wanted to bring it in. So I'm just adding a little strip of up here. And since I've introduced that stripe, I think I need to introduce it someplace else on the page just to make it cohesive. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little piece over here to the edge of my tag, and that'll just give it a little more weight over here as well. And it gives it a little more color. So I like that. I do think I need to trim it down just a little bit. So let me finish trimming this off, and then we'll get this stuck behind the tag. Yeah, I like that. I think that that just adds a little more color and interest to my page. Super cute. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of glue. I thought I was gonna use liquid glue, and then I decided to use my tape runner, and I'm just gonna slide that under there. I just want it barely peeking out from the side. So there we go. That looks pretty good. And now to finish this off, I'm gonna add a few drops of the Pops of Color. This is in the color Raspberry Kiss. And so I'm putting a few around this top cluster, around this middle cluster, and then I'm gonna go all along the bottom cluster. I'm just gonna add some drops of the Pops of Color down here as well. So that's gonna finish off my page today. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. I will have links down below to all the products that I used in today's video, and I appreciate when you shop my links, as that does help support me and my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!